We're diving into a topic that's often overlooked but incredibly important. Why dark skin tones need sunscreen. So if you thought sunscreen is just for lighter skin tones, think again. Stick around as we break down the science and share some crucial insights. Welcome to my channel, everyone, and if you're new here, hi. My name is Jackie Amofa. Welcome to my channel. When UV rays hit the surface of the skin, the body absorbs the energy and activates melanocytes, which are the cells in charge of melanin production in our bodies. UV rays are able to penetrate lighter skin tones easily because they have fewer melanocytes, which makes the skin burn or tan easily. But for darker skin tones, because we have a higher amount of melanin, the skin is able to block some of the UV rays, which makes it a bit hard to get tan or burn. So yes, that's nature's own way of looking after us, and you guessed right. Melanin has got our back. Everyone's skin is different, and dark skin obviously has more melanin than lighter skin. Melanin is the substance in our skin that gives us a beautiful variety of hair, eyes, and skin tones. Even among people with darker skin tones, we have different skin tones due to the amount of melanin our melanocytes produce. There are many misconceptions surrounding dark skin and sunscreen, such as, I won't get sunburned, I don't need sunscreen. So let's debunk these myths and explain why they can be pretty dangerous. So let's get right into the science. Contrary to common beliefs, dark skin is not immune to UV rays. Dark skin has more melanin, which gives us some protection, but is not foolproof. UV radiation can cause DNA damage, premature aging, and increase our risk of skin cancer. Anyone can get skin cancer, regardless of age, gender, race, skin tone. So wearing sunscreen is a key component of sun protection, as well as seeking shade and wearing protective clothing, and so on. Also, the amount of melanin in our skin could depend on different factors like genetics or the amount of sun exposure our ancestral population had. When we spend more time in the sun, our body naturally produces more melanin, which absorbs the light from the UV rays and redistributes it to the upper layers of the skin by protecting the cells from UV rays that are harmful. But melanin alone is not enough to protect the skin from sun damage. According to research, melanin gives roughly 13.5 SPF to darker skin tones and about 45 SPF to lighter skin tones. Another thing to note is that melanin only protects us from UVB rays and not UVA rays, and UVA rays are what causes wrinkles and aging, which we do not want anytime soon, whilst UVB rays are the main culprits of sunburn. Even though it's less likely to get skin cancer with darker skin tones, it's more difficult to notice and diagnose. Most skin concerns of darker skin tones, such as melasma, wrinkles, fine lines, and the most common one, hyperpigmentation, are all caused by sun exposure, and it will get even worse if we do not protect our skin from the sun. Sunscreen plays a crucial role in preventing and reducing hyperpigmentation by protecting the skin against UV radiation, which can trigger melanocytes to become overactive, which then leads to hyperpigmentation. It can also reduce the appearance of existing hyperpigmentation over time from consistent use. Since UV rays can further darken those hyperpigmented areas, it evens out our skin tones and also has anti-aging benefits. Choosing the right sunscreen for darker skin tones is no longer as challenging as it used to be years ago, because most of these skincare and beauty brands are embracing and recognizing inclusivity and diversity, which is a good thing, because you will find a sunscreen that you will love out there. We used to shy away from the traditional sunscreens because it made us look ashy, and girl, that white cast was just bothersome, but not anymore. There are more sunscreens and different ones on the market with improved technology that works perfect for our skin. When choosing sunscreen, there are 3 things to focus on. It must have SPF 30 or higher. The SPF or sun protection factor labeled on a sunscreen is used to measure the UVB radiation it's blocking. For instance, SPF 30 means that 1/30 or 3.3% of UVB radiation will hit your skin, and the remaining 96.7% will be blocked by the sunscreen. Another way to look at it is if your unprotected skin gets burned 5 minutes within sun exposure, then applying sunscreen with SPF 30 would give you 5 minutes times 30, or 150 minutes of protection, which means you're getting an extra 145 minutes when you apply the sunscreen. That doesn't mean when you apply double SPF or a higher SPF, you get double protection. It doesn't work like that. The second thing is that it must be broad spectrum, which means it's protecting you from both UVA and UVB rays. SPF ratings only measures UVB rays, which means it can still allow some UVA radiation into the skin if it's not broad spectrum. Lastly, it must be water resistant. The mineral sunscreens, chemical sunscreens, and tinted sunscreens. Mineral sunscreens sit on the surface of the skin and create a barrier that reflects UV rays. They don't get absorbed into the skin like chemical sunscreens, and the active ingredients of mineral sunscreens are titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. They offer the maximum protection because they create a barrier between the skin and the sun. This is a bit controversial, but most dermatologists recommend it for darker skin tones as well as sensitive skin types. It might leave a bit of a white cast, but if you don't have a problem, you can just wear makeup over it. I have one right now and it works perfect for me. Chemical sunscreens, however, absorbs into the skin, allows some UV rays into the skin, converting it into heat and releasing it from the body. Chemical filters include alpha-benzone, oxybenzone, octinoxate, and so on. They can be a bit irritating for some skin types and they wear off quite easily, which means you need to reapply it more often. Hybrid sunscreens use a combination of both chemical and physical compounds, which makes them thinner and they rub in quite easily. Beyond all of this, pick whatever sunscreen you will like and would love to use every single day, because that is what will keep you from wearing a sunscreen on a daily. Imagine all the money you're spending on your skincare products and the only thing that's keeping you away from achieving that healthy, radiant skin is because you're not using sunscreen and you don't have a sun protection plan in place. Regardless of whatever treatments you're using, the issue is going to exacerbate even more if you don't wear sunscreen. Sunscreen is a must for everyone regardless of skin tone, and it's not just about preventing sunburn but protecting your skin's health in the long term. So now you see why it's super duper important to wear sunscreen and of course appropriate clothing when we're outside, because it's not just about our face but our body as well. Thank you for watching, and if you found this informative, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment and share. Remember, sunscreen is our dark skin's best friend. Stay safe, stay protected, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.